What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are Traditional Fans with Opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. Liar Game, episode 18. So in this episode, the contraband game starts reach its end. So Yokoa is trying to figure out how to manipulate Akiyama, try to figure out what all's going on. So, he has one of his one of the other team members try to test Akiyama, he confirms that the same offer has been made to everyone who Akiyama made an offer to. And then so yeah, they try finally to sneak some money over and not deposit it. So yeah, but this mostly focuses on the like on the on Yokoa, the country of Day. It doesn't really focus on now and Akiyama too much. And basically there's a question of what all did Akiyama tell Hasegawa, like and so yeah, at the end of the second day, Yoko is thinking about if Akiyama's how things are going, how he's how he'll respond. So then after the third day, now does a lot of the the inspecting and all that, and so yeah, that leads to seemingly everything's going to the country of days favor, and we'll see what if that's what happened, and basically with Akagi not getting the signal from Akiyama, that's why Yoko had to come up with this plan. So we'll see how things go. So the game's over. So the results are about to be announced. So yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Focuses on it most focuses on the game, not on now. Yeah, thankfully it doesn't focus on now. That's why it's gotten so much better. But yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one. The Insipid Princess Furtive Grab for the Throne, episode 5. So in this episode, so the whole hunt starts, the competition. So with each prince, with some group of soldiers, hunting some monsters. So now, and the rules are there's some tracking bracelet all the princes have on. Basically, if they're more than 100 feet away from their knights, then the bracelet explodes and the print or breaks whatever, and then the said prince and that would be declared disqualified. So so in Arnold's group, they have they have Arnold's group, they're able to get a bunch of monsters mostly through the his childhood friend, his childhood friend, the famous knight, um, Elna, basically killing most of them, and some are like, man, we just take a sleep, we just take a nap while she's doing all this. And so after they kill a bunch, Arnold's like, all right, let's That's it for today with Pacer sales. Elna wants to keep going, but Arnold says so. Elna agrees to just follow Arnold's orders. And later, Elna Arnold talk. Elna says she knows that he's just like acting useless to help Leo, and that she doesn't want everyone to look at Leo as like look at Arnold as like useless, whatever. And so for that, Arnold's like younger sister, like is like a little kid. So there's like two little ones that obviously can't directly get involved. So they just give orders from inside. So so the one of the little ones has a vision of the future that something's about to happen and tells Arnold about Arnold has Fine keep the little one company just to and but the little one wants to stay with Arnold, but Arnold says that Fine has good snacks, so Fine gives the little girl a cookie, so she's okay with that. Yeah. So then during the second day, the hunt, bunch of monsters like attack Keel, and the Emperor and his soldiers. They don't have enough people to like defend Keel, so Arnold orders Elna and her troops to protect Keel, even though it seems like it looks like it'll disqualify him. So, and it turns out two of the two who are singing monsters are vampires who were so bad that they were basically banished by vampires. Yeah, and then basically, and to help Leo. So as Silver, Arnold tells Leo to just get a bunch of knights to go through a portal from other domains, and that he'll have to have Resolve take responsibility because it's kind of overstepping his authority as a prince to summon knights from other domains, since even though he's not the king. Leo says he'll do it. So, Sil- so Silver opens a portal, and Leo gives the speech, or whatever, and a bunch of knights walk through because since they've heard about what all Leo's done, to help various villages, they all want to help him. So a bunch arrive, and morale's really high because they came of their own free will. So they fight. So they arrive to help Leo against the monsters, and that's how the episode ends. So yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Obviously there's the whole deal with like there's the whole deal going on right now with the artifacts. So you have the Hamlin pipe to reveal which one of the lower, I guess, one of the less intelligent brothers has it, and Arl believes he's being manipulated. What gets suspicious because like his regiment that prince is not that good, and Ellen's like, well, they're not necessarily weak, but come on, they can't be. So honestly, there's something going on. So leaves a lot of questions of how the monsters arrived in Kiel. So something's going on. But yeah, I thought this was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Blue Exorcist, chapter 168. So in this chapter, so you have lightning fighting Arthur, where um, and then basically that you see they flashback to when they met, as like Exorcists, when they were younger, like as students, very gifted students. So, and you see like someone like there, and they become Arthur asks Lightning to be his friend, you know, and you see like Arthur showing off his sword Caliburn, yeah, and then Yeah, so then basically you see they hang out, they become friends, like very good at their jobs or whatever. And then Arthur wants to be the paladin, and that's like he like has a lot of high expectations for himself, and like but he says he's long to find someone who's like an equal, and like he believes Lightning is that. And he tells Lightning to be like the Arch Knight. Yeah. And then yeah, so then they're in like a mission or whatever. You know, ain't Arthur like Angel attacks Lightning because he knows that Lightning's like the front runner, I guess, to be Paladin. Yeah. And then Arthur says, if Lightning was his friend, he wouldn't try to become a paladin. And Lightning's like, he's like, I'm just working hard, this is how it happens. Yeah. So, then they fight, Lightning's able to beat Arthur. And, he says, hey, and, Lightning says, he'll decline the position of paladin and he'll keep the whole attack they'll keep it a secret. And it says on the condition that Arthur enters a contract for a constriction spell that will strangle him if he ever tries to harm him. So Arthur agrees, but Lightning's, Arthur asks Lightning if he still considers him a friend, and Lightning says, he knows how all about Arthur's issues, and he says he knows he's the only one who can stop him because he's his friend. And yeah, so Arthur in the present, Arthur is injured. Yeah, and so basically he was like strangled, but like he's somehow returned, and I guess the contract's null and void. And so Arthur does an attack called Angelic Excalibur with his sword, and it like really hurts Lightning. So looks like he could be down for the count. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I thought this was a good chapter, like how they showed Lightning and Arthur's backstory. Lightning, just how he is a character. His backstory is something I think a lot of people would be interested in seeing. But yeah, I thought it was cool seeing how his friendship with Arthur was. But yeah, I thought it was a good chapter. Looking forward to the next one.
And that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.